Let's get right into it. There is one single mistake that students make in Class 9 that can completely torpedo their Class 10 results. Seriously, it's an incredibly common trap, but don't worry, we're going to show you exactly what it is and how you can sidestep it completely. Let's do this.
Okay, look at this number, 90%. That's how many students, a staggering 90%, make a critical mistake in Class 9. And we're not talking about a small oopsie here. We're talking about a fundamental error that makes your board exams in Class 10 so much harder than they need to be.
So what is this big critical mistake? Well, here's the thing. It's not just one specific action. It's actually more like a series of interconnected bad habits and, honestly, the wrong mindsets that just snowball throughout the year. So let's break them down. We're going to look at 3 mistake zones.
All right, first up, mistake zone number 1, what I call the mindset trap. This is where it all starts, you know? It's all about your attitude. Long before you even crack open a textbook, the way you think about Class 9 is what sets you up for success or for failure.
The biggest mindset mistake, by far, is treating Class 9 like it's no big deal. There's this idea floating around that it's a chill year, you know, a sort of break before the real work of the board exams. Let me tell you right now, that idea is totally, dangerously wrong. Here is the absolute 100% truth. Think about it like you're building a house. Class 9 isn't just a room in that house. It's the entire foundation. And what happens if you build a weak, shaky foundation? Well, when you try to build Class 10 on top of it, the whole thing is just going to crumble under pressure.
Okay, here's another huge mindset mistake. Choosing your subjects just because your friends are. I mean, how often have you heard someone say, "Oh, my whole group is taking this, so I guess I will too." This is a total recipe for disaster if those subjects don't actually click with your brain and your skills.
So what's the right way to do it? You've got to make a wise subject choice. That means you have to be really brutally honest with yourself. Try this for every subject you're thinking about. Ask yourself 2 simple questions. 1, do I actually get the ideas here, or am I just memorizing stuff? And 2, can I actually see myself studying this regularly without hating every minute of it? That's it. Your future should be based on those answers, not on what your friends are doing.
All right, let's move on to our second zone. This is where things get real. The habits that hold you back. See, your mindset is the starting point, but it's your daily actions, your habits, that are going to make or break your year.
And this right here shows one of the absolute worst study habits out there, rote learning, or rut de mar. Look, memorizing a few lines from a textbook might help you pass a tiny quiz, but it is completely useless when you have to actually apply the knowledge, especially in subjects like science and maths. The whole point isn't to just memorize facts, it's to get concept clarity. That's what builds that strong foundation we keep talking about.
You know what else is a silent killer of success? Letting your doubts just pile up. It starts small. You don't quite get a little formula in math, but you figure, it's fine, and let it go. Then, the next topic uses that formula, and now you're even more lost. Before you know it, that tiny little snowball of confusion has turned into a giant avalanche, and the whole chapter just feels impossible. The solution? It's so simple, but it takes discipline. You have to make a rule for yourself. No doubt is too small or too stupid to ask about. The second you feel confused about something, get it cleared up, right away. I promise you, this one little habit is an absolute game changer. Now, for some reason you wanted to guarantee failure in Class 9, this would be your perfect recipe. Just cram everything into the last 10 days, spend hours mindlessly scrolling through your phone, have absolutely no schedule, and of course, avoid studying every day. Does any of that sound familiar? Well, these are the exact habits that trap 90% of students.
And that brings us to our third and final mistake zone, using your resources the wrong way. Look, it's not enough to just have the right books and materials. You've got to know how to actually use them. I know this one sounds so obvious, but you would be shocked at how many people make this huge error. So many students just jump straight to the big, thick reference books and completely ignore their core NCERT textbooks. They think the NCERT books are too simple or, too basic.
Let me be completely clear about this. NCERT is your base. It's everything. You literally cannot understand chemical bonding in Class 10 if you didn't master atomic structure from your Class 9 book. You can't do complex trigonometry if your basic triangle concepts from Class 9 are weak. Skipping your NCERT books is like trying to build a Lego set with half the pieces missing. It just won't work.
The next resource mistake is just being a passive learner.
You know what I mean? Just reading a chapter over and over, maybe highlighting a few sentences. It feels like you're studying, right? But it's not a very good way to actually remember anything long term. Your brain has to actively engage with the information. So, what does effective studying look like? It looks like this: creating your own notes. When you force yourself to summarize ideas in your own words or create a sheet with all the important formulas, your brain has to process and organize that information. And you know what that means? Revision becomes so much faster and easier down the line. Okay, so we've talked a lot about the problems. Let's switch gears and talk about the solution. Because this whole thing isn't meant to scare you, it's meant to empower you. So here it is, your simple, straightforward blueprint for success. Honestly, it all comes down to just these 3 things. First, build discipline. That means consistent habits, a timetable, the whole 9 yards. Second, choose your subjects wisely, based on what you're actually good at and interested in. And third, put all of your energy into strengthening your core concepts, not just memorizing random facts. And look, if you only remember one single thing from our whole chat today, please let it be this: take Class 9 seriously. That's it. Treat it with the focus and the respect it deserves, because truly it is the #1 predictor of how well you're going to do in Class 10.
So, I'm going to leave you with this question. Now that you know all of this, what is the one single change you're going to make starting right now, today? Don't put it off until tomorrow. The foundation for your future is literally being built as we speak.